So what you're about to see here is kind of a test pilot for something I might be doing with the Talking About the Movies post that I've been doing for the website. If you've been going to the website, you see that that's where I do most of the new movie reviews. And I haven't been keeping up with them for the last couple of weeks, even though I've seen several new movies, such as the two you're about to see in this particular episode. I'm doing this to see how this is going to work and if it can work as a series. You know, kind of like what I did at the start of this back when I was in high school. So what you're going to see here are two clips that were taken from previous Movie Stop episodes where I went into reviews on these two movies that I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to see how this works. If it works, this is something I might consider doing going into the fall. If not, be a little experiment that we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll just try something else. So, yeah, these are going to be two movie reviews for previous movies that I've talked about before. What you're going to see is clips from when I talked about these movies in Movie Stop episodes. So that's why I'm going to look completely different in these next two reviews you're about to see. So, let's see if this works. With that said, welcome to the potentially first episode of Talking About the Movies, the TV series.
When one has an abundance of power, they have a certain duty to use that power to...
Sorry, you were saying something?
How much did you have to drink?
I had 2 toilet bowls and a bidet. Bidet, too, which is crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it's like a dog water fountain.
Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart reunite again for the first time in DC's League of Superpets. So, of course, League of Superpets is the story of Krypto the Superdog, voiced by Dwayne Johnson. He has to save Superman, his owner, and his friend from Krypton, who has been kidnapped by a talking gerbil, or a guinea pig, I should say, voiced by Kate McKinnon, who wants to take over the world. She's been used in science experiments by Lex Luthor, who's voiced in this by Mark Maron, and Lex Luthor is looking for this thing called Orange Kryptonite, which basically he thinks it's going to turn him into a being that could fight Superman, but it actually works more on animals. And so the guinea pig uses it on herself, and all the animals at this animal shelter, including Ace voiced by Kevin Hart, who's a dog, a pig voiced by Vanessa Bayer, a squirrel voiced by Diego Luna, and a turtle voiced by Natasha Lyonne. They get these superpowers, and Krypto has to team up with them to basically get the Justice League back from the clutches of this evil villain. And I mean, like I said before, the movie is just okay. I mean, it's not a great movie. It's not even a bad movie. It's just a movie that's just okay. It's a movie that, I guess in some ways, is kind of like Lightyear, except I'm not as mad as this movie for not being as good as I was with Lightyear, especially since Lightyear had a lot more ambition to it, a lot more promise to it, and it completely backfired on all cylinders. No, looking at the trailers for this, I figure it was going to go one of two ways. It could be something really clever, really funny, which it is sometimes, or it could be something like another Secret Life of Pets movie. Secret Life of Pets, I like the first one. It's probably one of the few Illumination franchises I actually do like, because I am not a big fan of Illumination films. I mean, not a lot of their movies I've really liked. Some of them I do, but nothing to like the same heights as something like from Disney or Pixar or even WB. And you kind of get a mix of both here. There's definitely a lot of Secret Life of Pets vibes to it, but there's also a lot of Bolt vibes to it as well. I mean, it's weird. This movie has a lot of very similar situations and similarities to the movie Bolt, except that Bolt, I think, works a lot better because you like those characters a lot better. It is a very simplistic story, and it doesn't really feel the need to up the ante or do something big and bombastic like this movie does, which you have to accept because it is taking place in the world of DC heroes. I mean, DC comic characters and DC heroes and villains, so obviously you're going to get something big, bombastic, and over the top with it. And, like I said before, it works fine. For kids, I think they'll definitely get a kick out of it. But for somebody like me who was going into it, maybe expecting a lot more, considering that this is the same animation studio that gave us the Lego movie, and I've been generally a big fan of everything that this studio has done since they rebranded with the Lego Movie and all that, with Storks, Smallfoot, the Tom and Jerry movie they did, and Space Jam: A New Legacy, and the other Lego movies, which I really like. I went in there expecting a little bit more, but I didn't hate the movie. I did come out of it enjoying it for what it was. I will say this, though. The weakest aspect I think of this movie has is the overall comedy factor. I mean, there are moments in here that are funny. There are characters in here that are very funny. I like Kate McKinnon playing the villain. I like this little cat that she adopts when she tries to burn down the animal shelter that all the other animals are in. And even she's just like, I'm not a complete monster. And she just takes this tabby cat and turns it into this villain. And he actually has some of the funnier moments in there in the little scene that he's in. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, I think, work great. And everybody else, though, I think is just okay. They don't really do anything to really up this movie to another level. I mean, there are parts where they do stuff that makes no sense. Like Natasha Lyonne's character who plays this turtle, who's obviously a lot old. I guess she's trying to be a lot older, and she swears, but the swearing is bleeped out. It's like something you'd see if you were watching a movie on television that was edited for television, and they take the bleeps out there. It's just like, I mean, why? Why do that? I mean, you could have come up with something a little more clever than that, but that sadly is just the way it is with this movie. Like, some of the jokes there are some jokes that do work, but other times, most of them are just not very funny, and even if they are a little bit funny, they're just chuckles, like little chuckles here and there. There are a lot of them in this movie. Where I think the movie does really benefit is that the animation overall is very good. The animation overall is very well done. I like some of the styles that they go with here. And like I said, most of the voice work is pretty good. Probably my favorite aspect of the movie, the one thing that I'll remember most from it, are the emotional moments. And there are some good, heartfelt, emotional moments in here. Like, I really got invested in the beginning of the film where you see baby Kal-El and baby Krypto as Krypton is falling apart and Superman's parents are putting him into the thing that's going to send him to Earth. And you have this scene where Krypto is trying to get to Kal-El and Superman's father's just holding him back until Krypto's just like, screw it, I'm going to go in there with him. And it is a very heartfelt moment. It's a very nice scene. It's very well done. It's very well animated, and it's a nice little scene right there. There's also another bit where Ace talks about his backstory and how he became an animal shelter dog, and he was adopted into this family, and it was clear that the kid loved him and that the family loved him, and then all of a sudden there's this moment where the baby is getting too close to the steps, and Ace is trying to save him, and the baby is about to slip and fall down the stairs, and Ace has to bite the hand of this kid to save him, and he was trying to save the kid, and the kid starts crying, and then after that, and the parents look at this dog, and it's just like, they just abandoned him. They sent him off to this animal shelter for just this one thing. And it's like, that's gut-wrenching. I mean, that really got to me. It's just like, that's the one thing that's gonna make you get rid of this dog that you obviously really liked, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, he was trying to save my kid, but he also bit my kid. My kid that pisses me off more that he bit my kid than my kid falling down the stairs and possibly hurting himself even more. Like, Ace was trying to save the kid's life, and he did, but it ended up costing him his home. And like I said, it's a gut-wrenching little scene there. But yeah, overall, those moments do stick out more than the actual comedy, which, for a movie that's supposed to be a comedy, it doesn't really do its job well. But like I said, it does when those emotional moments happen, the film does merit itself to warrant to it. I mean, it's a tough movie to really get the gist of what I want to say about it, because it's a movie that should be more funnier than it is, but it doesn't feel like it has the, what's the best way to put it? It felt like Warner Brothers was meddling in with this particular one to make a safe and marketable movie for kids, instead of a movie that both kids and adults can like and get invested in. And it felt like they were just trying to copy the Illumination formula, the DreamWorks formula. It's the formula of make a movie that's safe and marketable, will become a hit. Will become a hit with kids. Adults will like it because it will shut their kids up, and there'll just be nothing of warrant to it for anyone outside of our target age group. I mean, it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but it definitely felt like that watching this movie. Like, I did not feel like this is a movie that could transcend the different age groups. This is a movie strictly made for kids, and for kids, yes, they're going to get enjoyment out of it. It is a very harmless movie, I will say that. The very few bits of gross out humor that they have here are very few, like maybe a few seconds. That's about it. And I mean, there's nothing offensive about it whatsoever, which is a positive in most respects, especially when you consider how the Minions movies is just throw themselves to the lowest common denominator to get a laugh out of you. And, yeah, like I said, it's a very conflicting movie. I mean, it's a movie that kids are definitely going to love it. I think kids will definitely get a kick out of it. But somebody like me who does like a lot of animated movies, I do like a lot of superhero movies, and I think in my age demographic, as a 30-year-old adult, as an over 30-year-old adult, yeah, I just didn't think it was all that worth it. I mean, I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I got some stuff out of it that I did enjoy, but oh, excuse me. But yeah, for the most part, I think this is one that's definitely going to be on the side of kids will enjoy this more than the adults will. I think adults will get some enjoyment out of it in brief parts, but for the most part, I just thought it was just an okay movie. I wish it could have been a whole lot better, but for what it is, I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad that there was some stuff in there that I did really like. I just want a little bit more to it. I mean, I just wanted a much better movie to come out of it, but as it is, like I said, I'm glad I saw it. I probably won't rush out to see it again, but I am glad that I did check it out once. I would probably give it somewhere around the range of a matinee, about 3 stars out of 5. So, yeah, I do say it's a warranted good movie. I mean, it does deliver what it promises. It doesn't do what Lightyear tried to do, where they tried to promise you something where you're going to get something incredibly different than what we actually got in the final product, and it fell apart considerably because of that. With this movie, you do get pretty much everything the trailers promise you, and then some. And, yeah, like I said, at a matinee, you can go into it. It's with the kids. The kids will definitely enjoy it. You might get a kick out of it, too. But, yeah, for the most part, it is what it is. So, that's my thoughts on DC League of Super Pets. Next up, Jordan Peele returns to the director's chair with his third directorial effort, Nope. So Nope basically tells the story of these ranch-owned siblings, played by Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer. They run this horse renting company. They rent these horses out. Hollywood studios rent these horses out for their different productions. And so you have the story about these two trying to capture footage of an identified flying object, aka a UFO. And as with other Jordan Peele movies, and that's only a piece of what this movie is about. And I've liked a lot of Jordan Peele's movies. I like Get Out. I really like Get Out. It was one of my favorite movies from 2017. I really liked Us, and that was one of my favorite movies from 2019. And I'm happy to report that Nope is another winner for Jordan Peele. Maybe not as good as his other movies, Get Out or Us. I think are much better films, but there is enough here that I did really enjoy. There is a lot here that I really do like. I feel like this movie was what M. Night Shyamalan wanted Signs to be like, except it didn't end up being good whatsoever, and it ended up being the movie that really killed any buzz on M. Night Shyamalan for a long time. I know a lot of people like that movie, but for me, that early wave of M. Night Shyamalan ended with Unbreakable, and then when Signs came out, it was just like, okay, you're not coming back for this. And then he did come back for a little bit, and then I don't know. He's currently on cruise control right now, but that's not the point here. This movie, Nope, I think really is a great movie. I think it's a well-made film, a visually stunning movie. It has a lot of great originality, some great satirical elements to it. The performances overall are really good. I really like Keke Palmer in this. I think she's having a pretty good summer. She was in Lightyear, which I didn't like all that much, but I thought she was one of the stronger things about that movie, and she's really great in this film as well. Daniel Kaluuya, of course, gives another great performance in this. You have Stephen Yen in this from Walking Dead, and Keith David's also in here for a little bit, playing the father of the brother and sister. Oh, excuse me, but yeah, I think this is a well-made film. It's a really good movie. It's a fun adventure film. It's a fun sci-fi horror kind of comedy in a way. There's definitely a lot of elements of science. There's also a lot of elements of Spielberg works like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Jaws. There's also a little bit of Tremors in there as well. It's a great hodgepodge of stuff, and Jordan Peele makes it work. I think he does have a knack for this type of filmmaking, and it's really good to see. Like, I don't think Jordan Peele's quite up in the. I saw something a couple of days ago, right around when this movie was coming out, that someone said Jordan Peele was the best horror director of all time, and even Jordan Peele had to tell that guy, step back a little bit, bud. I mean, John Carpenter still exists, and yeah, I mean, I would throw him in there. Wes Craven's another example. George Romero. I mean, yeah, Jordan Peele has been a great horror director, but yeah, there's definitely other guys who are above him right now. We'll see how the rest of his career goes, but I mean, he's 3 for 3 as a director. He's really made some great movies that really it plays with your expectations, and when there's something legitimately interesting or even some legitimately good scares in here, they are earned. They don't feel forced. They don't feel like they're trying to manipulate you in any way, shape, or form. They're not trying to pull the rug out of you. And the end result with this one here is a very good movie overall. Story structure-wise, I think Get Out and Us did it a lot better. And I think you could kind of predict where it's going to go towards the end. I will say that the ending of the movie is a little bit. Let me put it this way. It's definitely the weakest part of the movie, but it doesn't ruin the movie at all whatsoever. I mean, it's kind of you can kind of see where it's going, and they do kind of reveal that it is what it is, and it's just like, okay, I kind of figured that's where you were gonna go, but I think it could have been a whole lot better. But for what it is, it's perfectly fine. It's fine, but it's definitely the weakest part of what I think was an overall pretty damn good movie, and this is a really damn good movie, visually, creatively. Script-wise, it's mostly very good. The performances are great. The direction is fantastic. It just makes you excited to see what Jordan Peele will do next as a director. I mean, where can he go from here? And, like, how do you keep this up without going down the same path that someone like M. Night Shyamalan did after he got his fame? It's going to be interesting to see what he does here. I really liked everything that he's been producing as well. I really enjoyed the Candyman remake he did last year. I'm one of the few people that actually really liked his Twilight Zone series that he did for Paramount Plus and CBS. I guess CBS All Access and Paramount Plus is the same thing, but yeah, I was one of the few people that actually really liked that a lot. I know a lot of people didn't, but I thought it was much better than something like the 2002 remake with Forrest Whitaker. But yeah, that's really all I can say about Nope, is that it is still a really good movie. If you even like Get Out or Us at all, you still find a lot here to really appreciate and enjoy. And yeah, it's a pretty damn good movie. Basically, my review of this is pretty much what the title of this video is going to be. Say yes to Nope. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Say yes to Nope. I mean, that's pretty much the best way to describe this movie. I think you can go in there, have a good time with it, and enjoy it for what it is.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. Tell me what you think of this concept, and if I should do more of these videos. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, take care.